we were hanging from a building and I'm kind of scared of heights, but I was like, nope, I'm good with it. I'm good with it. So I threw a punch, and of course he didn't duck because he didn't know it was coming, and he went to the ground, and I felt so bad. Everything they kept telling me, are you okay with doing this? Or are you okay with it? It didn't matter what they threw at me. I was going to say yes. I mean, we were hanging from a building and I'm kind of scared of heights, but I was like, nope, I'm good with it. I'm good with it. It didn't matter what they threw at me. Even the running, we ran so much. The very first day, my first day was running, and I kind of like pulled my hamstring. Even though I did say I incorporated running to, my training because we had 2 months before we started shooting. I guess I didn't go as that fast, but when I heard 3, 2, 1, action, I took off. And I remember the director, Sam, was telling me, he's like, you don't have to go that fast. I think it was on the third take. He's like, you're going a little bit too fast. The camera can't keep up with you. And I'm so grateful that he said that, because I did pull back for the fourth take. And the fourth take is when I did pull my hamstring. And if I was going as fast, I probably would have just blew it out. So I'm so glad. I had a knot in my hamstring, and I was still running for the whole week. And it was pretty bad. But yeah, it was still a great experience. I wouldn't change it for the world. So the secret is to actually exaggerate the punch. So if you were right in front of me, you're aiming for that person, but if the camera's over here, it doesn't look as good. So you have to go a little bit wider for the camera. And you're just like brushing the person's face so they could just, you could never just go bah, bah. You have to be like, so you could just fake it a little bit and just touch them. I hear a few times people get touched a little bit. I've heard incidents where, actors get punched in the face, or stunt people got punched in the face. I accidentally punched one of the stunt people in their face, because every stunt scene has a choreography. But sometimes you have to switch it up because of where you're shooting, the location, something doesn't fit. And we had a choreography where I was supposed to punch, duck, kick, or something like that. It got changed to kick or something. And when action, I was doing it at first, but when you get in the groove, my brain just was like, went back to the old choreography. So I threw a punch, and of course he didn't duck because he didn't know it was coming. And I like hit him in the head, and he went to the ground, and I felt so bad. All he said to me was like, well, at least I know you can throw a punch. When the camera's on them and you have to do a particular stunt, or you have to drive a certain way, you get kind of frazzled, and you want to do it so perfectly that doesn't end up perfect, or you look stiff, or something goes wrong. He said, everything you're doing, it looks great. He was like, you're turning the car, you look like a natural. And I was like, it's so funny. Like, I have these moments when I'm in my own car where I'm like, how would I get this out? But this was a shoot. I don't know if other people do that. But I'm like, okay, I'm stuck. So if I was actually shooting this, how would I get it out? I actually think about things like that. And so, yeah, I have to say the most memorable was when it was just me and him in a scene, and he commended me on like actually parking the car exactly where it needs to be, and not overdoing it or underdoing it, getting it actually on the mark. So yeah, I would have to say when we went to Philly, we were there for 10 days. And the reason why I say it's my favorite is because that was my first day of shooting. When I got to Toronto, we were there for a week, and we went to the screen test of my look and everything. And the following week, we were off to Philly for 10 days. And my very first day was hanging with Alan from a bridge. And then we were in the thick of it. We did a lot of exterior shots, and that's most where you see us running from place to place. And yeah, so I gotta say that was the best location, because that was the opening kickoff to our relationship and the kickoff to the season. It's pretty chill, and it's pretty down to earth. We were on location a lot, and we were on the stages, but everybody, it's pretty chill. I gotta say, working on the Reacher set, the crew was probably one of the most exhilarating and just nicest crew that I've ever worked with in a long time, because everybody was just very warm with you and just wanted to help. What can they do to help? And they very much felt like a family. So much that I bake cookies. So When I first baked cookies for the creator, Nick Santora, I sent him a box and I sent it for the casting director. That got around. So when I got to set, the other producers was like, hey, we heard you make these fabulous cookies. Where are these cookies? So then I ended up making it for those producers. And then that got around to the office crew and the gaffers and the lighters. They were like, we want cookies. So throughout the entire season, I ended up baking people cookies. Always to the wrap. Most of the time I was like, okay, I'll get them a truck or a food truck. And I was like, okay, what do you guys want? And they were like, we want your cookies. So I ended up making 400 cookies for the crew. Because of them, I have 40 flavors now, because every time I got to set, people were like, well, can you make this? Can you make this? Because my 10 flavors were like strawberry, Oreo, banana pudding, chocolate chip, peanut butter. So I was making those. And somebody was like, can you make like a bagel cream cheese? So I made that. Then someone was like, what about a chocolate matcha? I made that. I made an orange sickle. I made Rice Krispie treat. I made a salted caramel apple. I was making all these peach cobbler, sweet potato pie. I made all these different flavors. And now I have like 40 flavors of cookies. I think there was 12 versions of my suit. All the same suit. I believe they bought the entire collection just for me. And I had a suit for when I was wet, for when I was running, for when they had to make it bigger to have, the padding underneath, when I did the choreography, when they had to make it dirty. Like, I had a suit for every single thing. And in my head, I wouldn't even think of that. I was like, maybe I have 2 suits. I had no idea I had 12 suits. It came to a point where when we were shooting, I was like, no, this is not the one I need. I need the one that's a little bit dirtier and a little bit wide in the waist, because I have to do this. So it came to that point. They're like, okay, cool. And we had these numbers for my suit. There's a lot of things, but the one thing that's coming out of my head right now is my yoga mat. I do try to do yoga every morning, or work out before set. And that was the idea, to, on my break, stretch and do yoga and everything. Sorry. But truthfully, as the season went on, and probably starting the second month, the yoga mat was pretty much just a mat for me to lay down and rest and get some shut eye. But I'm just one of those people that no matter what we were doing that day, and I knew if we're going to be running, I still need to go to the gym. I will still wake up like early just to go to the gym and then go. But yeah, so I understand in the beginning of when I used to see Alan like sleeping in the car or sleeping in his tent. Yeah, because the yoga mat just became a bed for me. And that was one of the things I was just like, can you bring it to the location, please? And like, Sydelle needs her yoga mat. Yes, I definitely do. I remember even Chris got some photos of me one time when I was just knocked out on the yoga mat because I was just exhausted. Thank you. I appreciate the talk.